I don't know about you, but when I first found out that I was pregnant, one question that came up was like, oh my gosh, I have to like pick a doctor and have all these appointments. And I think that was a little overwhelming to me because I didn't think there was going to be that many appointments.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it increased at the end, that you're going to have like appointments every week. But I kind of found myself enjoying getting to go every month and just check on the baby and like see how she was growing and getting to have that experience with my spouse at the time. And we just really ended up enjoying these appointments that we really thought we were going to hate. So what did you think about that?
I really didn't even think about it. I was just like, okay, well, this is what I have to do. Mm-hmm. And I was pretty well told everything. Like, my doctor told me everything that was going to happen, like, pretty much from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, okay, and I rolled with it.
So did you have some of your kids in Hayes, is that right?
Yeah, my first 3.
Uh-huh. Yep. And how did you like that?
It was nice because nobody knew me.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have to worry about any of that. I don't like everybody knowing my business.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just done and out of the way.
When I had my first child here, overall I felt super comfortable. There was never a question in my mind if the doctor or the nurses or any of the staff was capable.
Yeah.
It was just me getting around my own fears of becoming a mom and like venturing into new territory that really stand out to me right now. But as some people may not know, my hopes and dreams of having a natural delivery didn't happen. And when you're faced with this, oh my gosh, you have to have a C-section, and life just kind of flashes before you. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but it did. And it was hard for me to give up that in my mind and be okay with it, because I felt like I didn't do something right. But what helped me was Dr. Doug in particular helped me through that and said, let's have a healthy baby and a healthy mom. And at that moment it was like, oh, okay, I can get over this and we can do this. And it ended up being the best thing ever. So seeing my daughter for the first time just changed it all. Did you kind of notice that, like, when any of your children, when you first saw them, did things just change for you quickly?
Yeah, it did. I was very nervous when it came time to have my first, because I was like, how am I going to do this? But it just kind of came naturally. I don't know how to explain it, except for breastfeeding. We had an issue with her. I never did get the lactation consult. The nurses were helping, but I never did actually have that person come in when I was in Hayes with my first one. Now, when I had my last one here at Gove County Medical Center, I actually did have a lot of help with the breastfeeding, and I actually had Wendy come in, and she helped me and helped me out with different tips that I didn't get with my other 3. Mm-hmm. So that was really nice.
Did you find that you had more success this time then? Like, once you went home, were things better for you?
Well, that probably would have worked had he not been flown out to the NICU in Wichita.
So your baby didn't get to stay with you here? He had to leave?
For 3 days. He was here
no.
with me, and then he got flown out. He was not able to keep his blood sugars at the proper level, even with a dextro strip, so we went to Wichita.
And how did all that settle with you? Like, were you scared? Were you ready to send him and not you? Or did you guys get to go together? Because sometimes that happens.
Yeah. No, I got to go. They dismissed me. I wasn't able to fly with him, but my sister drove me down. So,
like, you were ready for him to go down there and get better and more help, because you knew he was going to get better there.
Yeah. It was kind of scary because it's like, why? I know Dr. Doug and Glinda were definitely telling me that this isn't most likely the case, But there's always that fear in the back of your mind that maybe this is going to be an issue. Like, maybe they're not going to figure out what is wrong. But it was nice to be able to go down there with him. And Doug and Glenda both were amazing at talking with me and explaining everything that was going on and why this was probably happening. So it was nice in that aspect to be able to deliver here, as opposed to
it
Hayes.
sounds like never once did you question any medical decision that was made, that you always felt safe.
I did.
And that you were informed
Yes.
of everything that was going to happen, and that you and your significant other were comfortable with everything that was happening in spite of your baby's health.
Yeah, exactly. Because it wasn't something that was planned, because I had to have a C-section on my last one because of decreased movement. So that was the scary part, not knowing what was going to happen and why we what was going on to cause us to have a C-section, because he needed to be out now. So they were very great at, keeping me calm, because I did not want to have a C-section at all. So you said you had a C-section too. Was yours like an emergency? Was it just kind of...
It was more of an emergent thing because of a really bad heartbeat. It was getting too low for comfort, and it was looking like the baby was not going to be able to safely come out naturally. And so after so many hours, it was time to just, do something else. And like I said, it just took me a while to be okay with that. But once I got into the operating room and I saw all the staff was there and everyone was so supportive and cheering me on, whether I knew them or not, it was just nice to see faces that smiled back at me and said, "This is going to be great, we got this." And so that really helped me the most. In looking back at the whole thing, that even though I didn't want to have a C-section, and even though my plans didn't go according to how I wanted them to, that overall we had a healthy mommy and healthy baby, and my husband and I had a really good experience through it all.
That's good.
One thing that surprised me was when I talked to my friends about my birthing experience here, because at the time I was living in a different town, so many of them didn't even know that we could deliver here, and furthermore that we could have C-sections here. And so I had to inform them. And so I was really surprised that many people in this area don't know the great services we can provide. And one of them is OB and the ability to do a C-section right here in your own hometown. And that was really good and comforting. So that way, if I have another baby here, I can just, I can stay here for my care. Do you think that would be a good thing for you too? Would you like to stay here?
It was probably the best experience, this last one, and I would definitely recommend others to deliver here because it's like home.